a big welcome to Memorial Stadium. It's rivalry weekend in the Bay Area, and that means it's big game time. Stanford and Cal right now on Fox College Football. Taking the field at Memorial Stadium. Petros Papadakis, our sideline insider, and being many storylines in this game, and one is Cal's depth at running back.
Well, in the Jeff Tedford era, Cal has always had great backs. J.J. Arrington comes to mind. You think about Marshawn Lynch. This year, there are 3 backs doing it for the Bears. E.C. Sefeli, a senior, 1,300 yards last year. C.J. Anderson, a bruiser. He's a guy that's an A and B gap runner. And then you have the home run hitter, Brendan Bigelow, with electric speed. Jeff Tedford knows he's going to need the best of all 3 of these guys to compete against what could be the greatest Stanford defense of all time. And I'm not kidding.
There's Jeff Tedford, his 11th year at Cal, 8 bowl games during his stay, 7-3 in big game. His counterpart, David Shaw, 2nd year, running the show at Stanford. They beat Tedford last season with a guy named Andrew Luck at quarterback. A close ball game, 31-28. So here we go for the 115th time. It's Stanford and Cal. Cal won the toss. They chose to take it in the second half, so Stanford will have the football to start this game. 63,000. Not a seat to be had here at Memorial Stadium. And we're underway. Out of bounds inside the 2-yard line. They throw a flag, and good field position for the Stanford Cardinal.
Kickoff out of bounds against the kicking team. Stanford has opted to put the ball in play at the 35-yard line. First down.
So let's take a look at today's Taco Bell impact players for the Cardinal.
Offensively, it starts with their 2 tight ends, but especially Levine Toilolo. They talked a lot about getting the ball down the field early for Josh Nunez, their quarterback. They'll do that with Levine Toilolo. On defense, it's yes about Chase Thomas, the All-American, and also Trent Murphy's fantastic 8 tackles for loss, one of the best defenders in all of the Pac-12.
So here we go, Stanford with the football, Josh Nunez under center, and we're underway. Stephon Taylor, one of the Cardinal captains, knocked down inside the 40 of the 39-yard line, a senior out of Mansfield, Texas. Nunez, 212 yards a game, 53% completion rate. 8 touchdowns, Joel, 6 interceptions. On the road, though, struggles. He's thrown 3 picks, has yet to throw a touchdown.
Got to find that consistency for David Shaw and Stanford. They're looking for that today. Look for a shot on this first series down the field to calm his nerves.
Second down. After a pickup of 4, 3 wide receivers set as Nunez sets up the shotgun and drops it into the hands of Jamal Rashad Patterson. Only his 5th reception of the season. A senior out of McDonough, Georgia. That's
a big completion there. It not only moves the chains, but it gets the ball outside against this Cal defense early. Josh Nunez struggled last week against Notre Dame. Didn't get a lot of help on the outside. So 2 things. 1, a completion for your quarterback. 2, some confidence for Jamal Rashad Patterson on the outside. They're looking for big plays from him as well.
Stanford moves the chains. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Taylor, the lone back. He'll get the handoff right side. Had a hole, but tripped up after a pickup of 4 to midfield. Chris McCain, the sophomore from Greensboro, North Carolina, in on the stop. A good quartet of Cal linebackers.
But not a lot of depth there. They'll struggle with that. There's only 2 backups, 1 on the inside, 1 on the outside for Cal's defense. That's going to be Dan Camporelli and J.P. Harrell. J.P. Harrell was already in. He's not in on this play. But look for that. A lack of depth could hurt them at the linebacker position today.
A gain of 3. Blitz is coming. Nunez feels the pressure, steps up, room to run. How about the stiff arm? Ball's out! the scramble is on. And the officials right on the spot, they're peeling them off one by one. Cal points one way, and Cal recovers the fumble by Nunes. DeAndre Coleman, big number 91 on the bottom of the pile.
Initially, a tremendous job by Nunes of stepping up in the pocket. But then, no ball security. Tries to switch it from his right hand to his left. And on the switch, the tackle is made. Ball pops out, and Cal recovers. Watch him trying to switch the ball. It's a bit loose on his hip. Lack of ball security, that will absolutely kill a football team. Turnovers are enormous in rivalry games. Nunes puts it on the ground early.
Zach Maynard, the quarterback. And the handoff. Scove with the tackle, but we've got a flag down right at midfield.
Personal foul, hands to the face. Number 91 of the defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
You can't go up
Number
above.
57 from Cal does not have to leave the game because his helmet came off as a result of the foul.
Good explanation by Terry Lydon, our referee today. Henry Anderson, you can't go above the shoulder pads, 15 yards. And Cal's in business after the fumble recovery and the personal foul at the Cardinal 38-yard line.
Got to take advantage of this. I mean, just an enormous break for Cal here early. Zach Maynard and this Bears offense must take advantage of the quality field position given to them by their defense.
C.J. Anderson in the backfield, looking to run it. That's Bryce Treggs, and a good stay-home play by the Stanford defense. A loss of 6, Chase Thomas, Trent Murphy. The outside linebackers, so fast, they cover the edges. It's tough to get outside on the Cardinal.
And he lost his helmet, so he has to sit out for a play. You know, I've been very harsh against this rule. I think it needs to be changed somewhat because the best players can't be sitting on the sideline like that.
Keenan Allen, 53rd reception to the 40, call it the 39-yard line. Let's check now the impact players brought to you by Taco Bell for Cal.
Boy, they have got a fantastic wide receiver in Keenan Allen. Needs just 6 catches to become Cal's all-time leading receiver. And then on defense, quarterback Steve Williams, the reigning defensive player of the week for Cal. Had an interception last week against Washington State. He's playing very efficiently for the Bears defense.
Third down, 11. Maynard checks the sideline on the call. That was the 32nd consecutive game that Keenan Allen has come down with a reception. He'll be all over the field on third down, shotgun. Pressure, ball comes out. Maynard blindsided. And how about the pop that Chase Thomas gave Maynard?
This is why he's an All-American. This is the situation Cal has to avoid. Third and long. The pass rush for Stanford is too potent. Chase Thomas beats his man, comes up, knocks the ball loose. Cal ends up recovering that ball, but a huge third down stop there for the Cardinals.
Leininger, the punter, launches one up high. Fair catch taken. Tough catch at the 18-yard line by Drew Terrell. Series number 2 for Stanford after the fumble by Nunes. No damage done. Kevin Hogan has checked in the backfield for the Cardinal. They like to run that wildcat with him. And now there's a flag as Ramon Wright is chased out of bounds. A lot of flags, a little trickery early here for Stanford.
Holding, number 11 of the offense. 10-yard penalty, first down. Correction, half the distance to the goal.
Kevin Hogan comes in. He's actually listed as the third-string quarterback, a redshirt freshman. But when he's in the game, they will run the zone read game. That's what he's in there to do for David Shaw and the Cardinal. But now, backed up, first and about 15, now first and 14. And Josh Nunes is going to have to get himself out of the shadow of his own goal line.
Clock rolling up on 11 minutes to play. Simple handoff backfield. Boy, just nothing there. Stephon Taylor, Anthony Wilkerson sharing some duties in the backfield. Tapoti, number 50 with the stop. He switched from defensive end to nose tackle in this game.
Petros, Clancy Pendergast, the defensive coordinator for Cal, has had success against Stanford in the past.
Yeah, he really knows because of his pro background. He coached the Arizona Cardinals defensive coordinator in their Super Bowl team. He really understands the Stanford offense because it's a pro run-based offense.
Taylor back on the field. Second down long, call it 13. Low snap taken by Nunes. Sets his feet over the middle. Down on his side is Terrell, the wide receiver, his 14th catch of the year.
And a nice job keeping that one off the ground, having to go back down. This ball is low and towards the back shoulder. How about that body control from Terrell to go down, keep it off the turf, and move the chains. A critical conversion there when you're backed up inside your own red zone. Now Stanford has a little bit of breathing room.
Pick up a 17, chains at the 39, fresh downs for Stanford. I formation with Taylor and Hewitt. Nunes wants to throw, up top he goes. Receiver had to come back for it, and Kelsey Young lets it drop at the 30-yard line. He was covered by the corner, Steve Williams.
I know that ball was underthrown just a little bit, but the coaches made a point when we met with them of talking about the plays that needed to be made down the field for Josh Nunes. His struggles on the road haven't been completely his own. When he has gotten the ball there on a catchable situation down the field, that ball's got to be caught. The plays have got to start being made for Josh Nunes.
You know, Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator, told us simply put, look, Nunes has good downfield range. And you're right, Joel, he's got to get some help. Back to the ground they go, and popping through the middle is Taylor at the 40, stiff arms to the 30, and he'll be dragged down to the 27-yard line by the safety Josh Hill. Powerful run by Stephon Taylor.
Watch the block of Schwartzstein as he clears the middle of the road for this downhill A-gap run. Gets that defensive tackle out of the way, just runs him out of the way. And then here's Taylor, hits the hole hard, no dancing, the stiff arm past the 30-yard line. Missed tackles will kill you when you play Stanford. It's a must to keep your feet moving and get your body into Stephon Taylor, or he will break those tackles.
Cal was bouncing right off the thigh pads of Stephon Taylor to pick up a 39. Cardinal in business. Nunes throws, and just a little bit outside of Drew Terrell. We talked about the road woes for Stanford, and the road woes are on the back of Josh Nunes. In the 2 games, 48. Joel, and look at the home. He's very comfortable. 8 touchdowns. He's thrown 3 picks. 56% completion rate.
We had his game against Arizona. He ended up being the offensive player of the week in the Pac-12 conference that week because he was absolutely fantastic. He needs to find that consistency now out on the road.
Zach Ertz, the tight end in motion, number 86. They're going to hand it off. Taylor, up the middle he goes. He just busted a big play for 39. And this time Cal corrals him at the 23-yard line.
Petros, for a young guy, and I know he's a senior, but young as far as experience goes, and Josh Nunes, he's got to make a concerted effort to slow his heartbeat down in this big environment.
Well, this doesn't get any bigger if you're a football player for Stanford. Big game is it, especially in Strawberry Canyon, a very hostile environment. He faced it at Notre Dame, but I don't think it was quite like this.
Backs were split. 8th play of this drive. 3rd down, 6. Nunes throws, ball batted away, nearly intercepted, and that brings up 4th down. Terrell was the intended receiver, and Mark Anthony put a hand inside and popped it out like a cork.
These are those plays I'm talking about because this ball was delivered to the right place, on time, and accurately. Terrell's got to keep coming back to his quarterback. See how he starts to float through the middle of the field? That's man-to-man coverage versus man-to-man coverage. A wide receiver's note. The detail of that route means run. You got to run. You got to create separation. Terrell was not able to do that for his quarterback.
This will be a 40-yard attempt. He's 4 of 10 in his career from 40 or beyond. Kick is away. Looks long enough. And good from 40. No, they wave it away. I saw one official hands up and then the other waves it off. So from 40, no good. Welcome Welcome back to Cal. Big game underway. Had a fumble early. Back judge put his hands up that the field goal of 40 yards was good. Waved away. That ball just a little bit outside the upright. Cal back in action. Under 8.5 to play, and that ball is thrown incomplete. Eric Stevens, the fullback, the intended receiver. This is the angle coming right at you.
The entire ball has to be inside the upright. If you extend the imaginary line up, even if the ball goes directly over it, you see the left official, he wants to signal for good, and the right official waves it off, but correct ruling there by the officials, no doubt.
Second down 10, 2 wide receivers near side for Cal. Maynard steps in the pocket, balls up. That ball, Keenan Allen, he's everywhere. That ball was up, and that's the old tip drill at its best.
The coaches were talking about the fact that he is one of the most natural football players that they've had here at Cal since Tedford became the head coach. You can see why, always around the football, makes a critical play there on a second down to give them a convertible distance.
Officials timeout. The ruling of a completed pass on the previous play is under further review.
So that play will go upstairs to our replay official, Jim Northcott.
Sure looked like he caught it from our angle, but that was in real speed, live.
Ooh.
That's going to be close. Obviously, the ruling of completed pass is going to be what's most important. That's going to be tough. Did that ball bounce on the left forearm, or was that between the arms when it actually bounced?
Is there enough
I'm
evidence?
starting to second guess this.
Well, I am too. But here's the key: is there enough evidence to
bounces,
overturn?
but was it an arm? I got to go with my first instinct, but I'm gonna stick with my second instinct. I think that they are going to overturn this and take it back, and it's going to be a 3rd and 10.
After further review, it was determined that the ball hit the ground. This pass is incomplete. 3rd down.
Overturned, and they'll bring it back to the 23-yard line.
The booth is always right.
Well, we got the monitors. You know, we're basically cheating on this test up here. That bounce and the nose of the ball hit that ground. So now another one of these 3rd and long situations. This is when Chase Thomas is so effective. Top of your screen defensive end.
3rd down and 10. Maynard checks to the sideline. Offensive coordinator Jim Maholchek, also the O-line coach for the Cal Golden Bears. 3rd and long. Delay. C.J. Anderson, Stanford again play their lanes. And they'll bring up a 4th down punting situation for Cal.
Very conservative there from Cal. I think they were scared away by the initial drive, getting sacked on 3rd and long. And Jeff Tedford said, I'm not going to have my quarterback stand back there like a statue and allow this defensive front with guys like Trent Murphy, Ben Gardner, and Chase Thomas to get after him.
Cal set to punt inside their own 15-yard line. Terrell sets a return for Stanford. Nice punt. 30-yard line. Terrell picks up a block, makes a nice cut to the sideline. Midfield, he goes! 40! One man to beat, bumped out of bounds by the punter at the 34-yard line. 45-yard punt and a 37-yard return.
The initial move to get away, then provides some space, but watch just the speed. Gets a couple of nice blocks. Gets away from the Cal defender there. But that's when Lineker has to come in. He's the punter. And eventually knock him out of bounds. And huge field position. There's the block that really sprung him down the sidelines. Lancaster gets in there and gets that block. Huge advantage now for the Cardinals starting on the 34-yard line for Cal.
Near sideline, Wilkerson. Oh, the pads are popping, expected all afternoon. He could not hit the edge. And chased down by Steve Williams. And you know what? How about a little sound from the big game?
That was a great job by the defense, really stretching the field out, making him run horizontally rather than vertically, and then getting him down to the ground. That's that physical type of tackle they're going to need all day. Arm tackles aren't going to work against Stanford.
He was hit high and low. Wilkerson stays alongside Nunes on second down after a pickup of 2. Rolling out, Nunes, man coverage up top, there's a push. And the ball out of the reach of Terrell. Josh Hill, the safety. There's a young man that really doesn't get enough credit for what he does. Plays a safety spot, plays nickel. He's all over the field defensively for Cal.
Leads the team in tackles. Josh Hill doing a heck of a job. The unsung hero of the defense. You're absolutely right, Craig. Doesn't get enough credit for it, but continued struggles now for Stanford and Josh Nunes on the road.
Have yet to score an offensive touchdown in 2 road games. Pedaling back, pressure. Nunes over the middle, found the tight end. Ertz. Oh, he took a shot, turned, and still picked up 2 yards after the initial hit. Ertz, a tough guy, and the hat comes off of Mark Anthony.
This is what Stanford has to get back to, is getting to their tight ends. Trying too much for the outside big shot with Terrell and their wide receivers. Get to Ertz, get to Toilolo. These guys are their consistent performers inside. You see the good hands and the physical presence on a huge conversion down for Stanford now inside the red zone.
The Ertz's forearm forced that hat off of Mark Anthony. He has to sit out a play. Cardinal with first down. They go to the corner. Incomplete, threw into double coverage. And that stops the clock with 5:38 remaining in this opening quarter.
Petros, I'm surprised they're going so much to the wide receivers because they've got such weapons on the inside with Toilolo and Ertz.
And you said it just now, Joel. They went for another big shot there on the edge with the receivers. Just to let you know the disparity in their career, Ertz, Toilolo, and Hewitt, 24 touchdowns, 145 receptions. Then you look at the wide receivers, Montgomery, Terrell, and Patterson, only 79 receptions and 6 touchdowns. This is a tight end run team. Why aren't they going to him more?
Play clock at 7. Nunes, the handoff, Taylor stacked up, driven back. Maybe a yard is forward motion to the 15. And Avery Sebastian came up from his safety spot to make the initial hit. It was a game tackle by Kafusi and company.
This is when you gotta go to the tight end. Stanford really struggled this season as far as their touchdown percentage in the red zone, only 46%. Part of that is because Andrew Luck isn't here, obviously, but also they haven't effectively used their tight ends. You got Toilolo matched up one-on-one at the top of your screen.
Crowd is roaring on 3rd down and 9. Nunes pedals back. Up top he goes, corner route, flag is down inside the 10-yard line. So difficult to talk about tight ends. We haven't seen Toilolo yet, who's 6'8", but it's hard to wrap up Zach Ertz. This man is a mountain at 6'6".
Holding, number 23 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal, and by rule, automatic first down.
Josh Nunes bailed out by Josh Hill and that penalty, so it's a hold on Ertz, but this was the opposite side of the field. Watch how wide open Levine Toilolo is on the slant route. He's locked up one-on-one, and a guy like that has to get the ball. I think Josh Nunes made a completely wrong read on the last play. Bailed out by the holding call. Now Stanford has to take advantage inside the 10 with a 1st and goal.
And Stanford continues to look for their first offensive touchdown on the road. 1st and goal, 7-yard line. Taylor, stutter steps, breaks a tackle, touchdown Stanford.
Watch this block right here. The double team all the way down. That's why the hole was so big. It's Zach Ertz, not just a great wide receiver, pass catcher from the tight end position. He also gets it done in the run game, clearing huge holes for Stephon Taylor. First touchdown on the road for Stanford this season.
Jordan Williamson will try the point after. And the PAT is good. He's Now 19 of 20 on the year. Well, for Stanford, their first offensive touchdown on the road. 29 road possessions. Hard to believe, Joel Klatt, you come away with no scoring, no touchdowns. And Stanford's had great success this season in the first quarter. They've outscored their opponent now 51-13, but yet they can't do it on the road.
A lot of that has been because they've been just terrible in the red zone as far as their touchdown conversion percentage. Last week against Notre Dame, several chances in that game inside the red zone they weren't able to convert.
Bigelow, 3 yards deep, so electrifying. Look at that move! Bigelow, stumbles at the 40-yard line. Oh, what an electrifying return by Brendan Bigelow.
Let's go back to this touchdown. They're trying to run the power as the guard pulls out, and Stephon Taylor's going to go to his left. But as soon as the play gets going, it's blown up. Good defensive play, and at that point, this is when he goes back to this side and finds the alley. Improvising from the running back standpoint, so critical inside the 10-yard line because there's no possible way that the offense can block every defensive player. Stephon Taylor bails out his offensive line there, makes a man miss, and gets into the end zone.
Just picked up his 6th rushing touchdown. They spread the field, pitch and catch. Allen picks up maybe 5 to the 45-yard line. All right, Patrick, we'll keep a close eye on that one. There was a timeout called by Stanford.
First charge timeout, Stanford.
Big game, and this is what they play for. Cal wants to bring the axe back to Berkeley. They kept that in a secret hiding place this morning. Quick throw across the middle, dangerous throw right off the hand of the tight end Richard Rogers, and then he took a shot. A.J. Tarpley got a free one.
Yeah, they're just trying to create some quick type passing game because Petros, they can't protect Zach Maynard. That's pretty clear early.
Well, you talked about it in the open. Jory Harrington talked about it before the kick. I mean, Stanford is really rushing Maynard, but what do? How creative do they have to be to keep him clean in this game, Joel?
I don't think it's about creativity as much as it is a physical nature with your run game. You've got to run directly at pass rushers in order to slow them down.
A little rugby kick.
Contrasting styles in that.
Hogan in, they go option, and Cal runs down the Cardinal. Kelsey Young had nowhere to go, could not hit the edge.
Talking about the contrasting styles in that matchups, it's stark what Bill Snyder likes to do as compared to what Dana Holgorsen likes to do. I mean, 112 ranked defense in the country for West Virginia. So it'll be very interesting how that game plays out.
Second down, 10, no gain as we run up on the 3-minute mark. Nunes back in along with Taylor and the fullback Hewitt. He lines up in the slot. Here comes Cal. Nunes sets his feet under pressure. Pitch and catch far sideline. And a big pop on Jamal Richard Patterson. Mark Anthony took a seat at the 20-yard line.
That ball came flying out. I think that they're trying to talk with themselves over there as a group of officials about whether this was a catch or not. One-on-one coverage, just a very easy, free access throw. You can see that ball pops out right away by Patterson on the hit. They're going to give him the catch. Unless this is buzz, that'll stand.
He did make a turn upfield. So far, no replay has been called, so we're going to play on. Third down, 4. Play clock to 1. There's confusion up front, and now flags are out.
False start. Number 54 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
That's David Yankee.
Penalty's going to be called on Yankee, but it was Schwartzstein who didn't snap the football. You saw several of the Stanford players start to lean back, including Josh Nunes, thought that ball should have been snapped. And now another third down opportunity. 35%, 102nd in the country. Today only 1 for 2. That's something that has to improve. Last year they were so good, in large part because Andrew Luck could run. You know, when things broke down, he could run for a first down. Nunes did that against Arizona. He hasn't been able to do that in other games, especially on the road.
So the play clock again, the worst enemy for Stanford. They run it down, and a timeout. Cardinal up 7. Now David Shaw talking with Terry Lydon, our referee today. They've had some problems with the play clock, Joel. I mean, you make a point. We were just talking about make the call and run. But also, this is a game really that may turn into a field position, depending on field position, who wins or loses.
Well, David Shaw's got to be thinking to himself, why does it feel like the officials are always against me? This is last week. You get back overtime in South Bend. 4th down, Stephon Taylor. We've all seen it, of course, several times. His momentum, to me, was never stopped. The ball sure seems to cross the goal line for a touchdown. Now, they would have had to kick the extra point. It's important to note that game would have continued. That wasn't for the win. Stanford would have had to go back out there and play overtime number 2, but David Shaw, very disappointed. He was a coach at Oakland. Remember, he said he had the same feeling after that game that he did after the Tuck Rule game.
Nice pass, but through the hands of Ertz, a rare non-catch by the tight end. He came in with 25 receptions. That would have been good enough for a first down. You know what, Nunes, he needs some help.
And that ball was on the money. That ball's got to be brought down by Ertz. When you got a frame like that, running open across the middle, that's a great opportunity to convert, move the chains, and gain better field position, and Stanford was unable to do it.
Beautiful punt. Keenan Allen, 46-yard line. Intercepts a tackler, breaks another. Watch out. Makes a move, 30, and another to the 25-yard line.
Watch the athleticism, and Craig, Petros, watch how every cut he makes, it's not necessarily side to side. He's still moving north and south, vertically up the field, getting positive yardage. That dude is an awfully good football player, isn't he? Petros, that was impressive.
That's a 6'3" guy making those cuts. Unbelievable precision.
39-yard punt and a 29-yard return. Cal's in business. And a late flag tossed in on that pile at the 24-yard line. Harper with the reception. You saw the holding.
Holding. Number 6 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
This is how you juke a guy right out of his shoes. I know it's the punter, but how about this? Just no chance. He just kind of goes down, takes a knee, and says, I'll reach out, make it look like an effort, but I don't think the punter had any chances of tackling Keenan Allen to the ground.
Cal, the most penalized team in yards this year in the FBS. Almost 600 penalty yards whistled against Cal. That flag marches him back at the 35-yard line. 1st and 20. Under center is Maynard. Sofele. Easy Sofele. They use Anderson and Bigelow in the backfield.
Petros, Cal has got to take advantage of some of these opportunities. They had the big kick return. Now they got the punt return. Remember, they had the turnover. They've been unable to convert earlier opportunities to points.
40-yard return by Bigelow. They get nothing out of it. Keenan Allen with a great punt return. And on first down, they get a penalty. Cal's got no one to blame right now but themselves for their offensive ineptitude. And Stanford's defense is playing really well, too.
5 wide. Hot slant on the hands of Bigelow. Breaks a tackle. 15, 10, 5. Stumbles to the 2-yard line. We have seen some incredible escapability by Cal's special teams players and also their wide receivers. 31-yard run.
How about that broken tackle from the sophomore Bigelow? I mean, just the power to lower your shoulder, get through the defenders, get inside the 5. That's what they needed, was a sensational individual effort to get this offense back on track.
C.J. Anderson, the tailback. 1st and goal, Cal, 2-yard line. Anderson, middle of the pile, no. I mean, that was a little flare out, Joel, to Bigelow, and what I thought was a 2 or 3 yard gain turned out to be a 31-yard. completion. We got an injured Cal Golden Bear down inside the 5. As Cal continues to roll along with a couple of back-to-back wins, UCLA and then Washington State. They started the season, don't forget, Joel, 1-4. And a tough schedule it has been with Ohio State, USC, and Arizona State.
And it was their pass protection that was so poor early. 28 sacks given up in those early games, the most in the country. Now they've given up 29. The way they got away from that and started protecting Zach Maynard is they started running the football more efficiently. They've got to get to that in the next 3 quarters if they want to come back and erase this 7-point deficit from Stanford.
Big game rolls on. Cal with a chance now to tie this game as they look at 2nd down and goal. Maynard took a glance at the sideline. So Fele alongside. He'll get the carry. No. He wanted to go up the middle. Joel tried to cut it outside, and Henry Anderson cut him down.
There's just not going to be room against that defense, especially in the condensed area. 3rd down now. Look for Keenan Allen. He's their best player. Top of the screen. He's going to be one-on-one with number 6, Terrence Brown.
Again, a check to the sideline. 3rd and goal. Shotgun. Maynard wants to throw. Quarterback keeper. And the Cardinal not fooled. Ben Gardner, number 49. 7 tackles for loss coming in to this ball game, and he was right there to smell it out.
He's the one who hit Everett Golson last week in South Bend, causing him to fumble in the end zone, leading to Stanford's touchdown defensively, and Stanford with a huge hold after Bigelow's nice scamper on the screen pass put him first goal inside the 5.
21-yard field goal by D'Amato is up and good. Cal close, but couldn't find the end zone. A touchdown saving tackle by Ben Gardner. Stanford on top of Cal, 7-3 on Fox. Well, here's our Ford Stats comparison so far in this ball game. 6 first downs, 2 for Cal. 1 turnover early, but Stanford up 7-3.
Well, you look at the reason Stanford's been able to get after Zach Maynard and really halt any threat that Cal has mounted is because they've been stopping the run. -7 rush yards so far in the game for Cal after having 600 plus combined in the last 2 outings. That's got to turn around for the Bears.
Stanford comes out 1st and 10. They load up the backfield as Nunes wants to set his feet up top. Wide open. Clear sailing. Zach Ertz at the 20, 15, 10. Makes a move and stumbles at the 7-yard line.
Way too open, way too easy. Cal blows the coverage. Here's Ertz on the line, into the line of scrimmage, and he's just wide open. Nobody covering him. Nunes gives it to him right on his chest, and he gets the ball down inside the 10-yard line. Good effort here from, I believe it was Josh Hill. Yeah, Josh Hill, the safety, to get all the way back there and get Ertz down to the ground, and at least give Cal a chance to force a field goal here.
Just clipped his ankles, a gain of 68. Inside, trying to push the pile is Taylor, and he does inside the 5 to the 4. How do you not keep an eye on Zach Ertz? He's had 25 receptions coming into this ball game. He had 4 catches last week in the loss to Notre Dame for 55 yards. He is one of Nunes's main targets.
Well, and we've been wanting all day long them to look at their tight ends. That's where they have the most success. And Ertz proves it now. 2 catches, 84 yards on the day, 42 a pop. I mean, that was a huge play. Got to give a lot of credit to Josh Nunes for confidently just stepping up and delivering that ball on the money so he could run down the field.
Play clock to 5. Now a whistle stops play as Kevin Hogan had jumped back in at quarterback, number 8.
Ball start. Number 76 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
This does not work. Every coach around the country knows this right now. They're trying to run quarterbacks in. Now Kevin Hogan back in. This is why the play clock's under 5. It's not working for the New York Jets right now. You know, these logistics of trying to run packages in and out of the game with a quarterback, it just doesn't work. And right now, Stanford took all the momentum out of their offense.
Redshirt freshman is Kevin Hogan. We've seen him 3 times. He's on a boot. Looking to the end zone. Fires his strike. Touchdown. Toilolo. So Hogan at 6'4", rolls to his right and finds the big target, Levine Toilolo. Williamson in to try the PAT to make it a 14-3 game. And the extra point is through the uprights. It was a tight end series for Stanford. First, they found Ertz. He brought him down close, and then they finish off with Toilolo. Oh, the tight ends, Ertz and Toilolo. What a 1-2 punch. 6'8", 6'6". You can't miss them on the field.
Not just their size, though. I mean, they're athletic guys. You know, they can get down the field. Toilolo a little bit more the down the field threat. Ertz more the underneath, the hitch routes, the normal tight end type stuff, those corner routes. So they've got a couple of good ones there.
Bigelow this time could not escape as he took a spin at the 20-yard line. Flag it on the pile. So Fele, the ball carrier, picks up 4 to the 24-yard line.
Personal foul. Hands to the face. Number 99 of the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
That's Terrence
Number
Stevens.
57 from Cal may stay in the game. His helmet came off as a result of the foul.
Well, he's had a couple personal fouls, high hits to the head in this game. Of course, officials and the way college football and the National Football League, what they're about now is protecting the player.
It's so tough, though. I mean, that nose tackle position at a 3-4, you got to take on 2-3 guys sometimes. Hand just kind of gets up in the face, penalty comes out.
Odd slant, wow, right on the button as Harper breaks a tackle and takes a couple of Cardinals with him down to the 41-yard line. That was a tough pass by the lefty, Zach Maynard.
Tight window. You said it. Chris Harper, the true freshman, able to come down with this. And Stanford was draped all over him. And now a little momentum created for Cal.
Pick up the 20, lost the football. Chase Thomas picked up the fumble. How did that ball come out? Looked like a clean exchange.
Bigelow was the running back. I've always been taught that the quarterback is responsible for the exchange with the running back. The running back's job is to keep his eyes down the field on the defense, and it's the quarterback's job to get it in there. He handed it to him, but it looked like Bigelow just dropped it. That was perfect, right in on his stomach. He had the pocket, inside arm up, and the ball just finds itself on the ground.
17th consecutive game now that Stanford's D has recorded a takeaway. 5th longest active streak in the country. The ball is tossed out, not much. Toilolo and Petros, this is a big test right now for Cal. They've moved the ball, but how long can Cal's defense stay on the field?
Well, guys, Nunez has now found his confidence. You've seen it. He's found his tight ends, and the Stanford offense is rolling well. This is the time, Joel, that Cal's defense has got to bow their necks, because with the way Stanford's defense has been playing against Zach Maynard, they can't afford another touchdown here.
They got to find an opportunity for a turnover. They've had 10 interceptions so far on the year. That's 8th in the country. They need to find an opportunity for one right now.
Low snap, Nunez, play action. They throw a little bubble screen. Kelsey Young stacked up. Maybe 3 yards to the 49 inside Cal territory.
Adam rolling there in the 90s. Now comes back with South Carolina. I still think South Carolina's going to come back and win that game.
Nunez flush for the pocket. Well, last time he tried a stiff arm, he fumbled the football in the first series. Chris McCain chased him down and moved the chains of first down for Stanford.
Chris McCain comes through. He's trying to get the ball. You see that arm come back, and it starts to come loose, but Nunez does the right thing. As soon as it starts coming loose, he just goes down, kind of heaps over that ball. With the conversion, moving the chains. Nice scramble for Josh Nunez.
Cal shows blitz. Play clock to 5. Nunez rolls in the pocket, goes over the top in the middle. And wide open is Jamal Richard Patterson. His second catch of the afternoon.
Petros, Cal was sending everybody there, but Nunez did a great job of giving himself time by backpedaling outside of the timing of the play.
You know, we saw him grow up in the second half of that Arizona game, an overtime game, and he played pretty well in the second half against Notre Dame. Here it's coming in the second quarter for him.
124 yards thus far for Nunez. Drew Terrell up top your screen. Ertz in the slot, the tight end. Pressure up the middle. Man coverage. Out jumping, incomplete. It went to Ertz. And Josh Hill stayed with him. The crowd, or at least the Cardinal faithful, thought a flag should come out.
I thought he was there a bit early. Right in the grill of Ertz. Tries to turn around, but I thought he was a little bit early on Ertz there, because Ertz definitely was affected by the contact before that ball arrived from Nunez.
Stanford 2 of 4 on third down conversions in this game, and they look at third down and 4. Close. Caught by Terrell. No, incomplete. He dropped it on the way down, so it's going to be fourth down.
Really good coverage by Steve Williams, the corner. 46 tackles on the year. The reigning conference defensive player of the week was draped all over Terrell, and he had his hand in there on the catch, and that's why the ball popped out. And now Williamson will try a field goal over 40 yards. He's 4 of 11 in his career. Field goal attempts over 40 yards.
His longest is 48. And this will be a 52-yard attempt, and now we're going to get a timeout. And now David Shaw has opted to take his field goal unit off and bring in the punting unit with Daniel Zaklinski. How to work a little field position here, Joel. He'll be inside his own 50-yard line. High hanger, fair catch. Cal at the 10-yard line. And it was 30 years ago, the play. One of the epic moments in college football lives on. 30 years ago, Cal goes back to work against Stanford. And this is the 115th big game. The ball came out, but he was already down at the 18-yard line.
It's college football fan, it never gets old saying that. Of course, unless you're a Stanford fan.
Don't you feel some chills? Even though if you're a Stanford fan, you've got to go back and say, what were you doing on that day 30 years ago?
Man, probably the most famous play in this series, and what an even series it has been. Total points in this series separated by only 4. 1,892 for the Cardinal, 1,896 for the Bears. I think that they're going to go back and actually review this last play. Remember, it was a flip out to Keenan Allen. The ball came out. They're reviewing whether this was a fumble, because there was a clear recovery by Stanford. If this is ruled that the ball popped out, absolutely that's going to be the ruling. This is going to be Stanford ball because of that clear recovery. Right there, Devin Carrington, he's the one who comes in late and recovers it.
Strips it. Their ball's out.
8, Jordan Richardson strips it out. That ball is clearly out.
I don't think that's going to be a tough call for the replay official, Jim Northcott.
Petros, you're right there on the field. Was that pretty clear to you?
Yeah, it looked like it. And another unfortunate, if you guys are right, another unfortunate turnover for Cal. And I'm not sure how much more their defense can take. I mean, they're putting them in a very tough position once again if this call is overturned.
After further review, it was determined that the runner lost possession prior to his knee being down. The ball was immediately recovered by Stanford. They will be awarded the ball first down on the 20-yard line.
The only way that this changes possession is because of that immediate recovery, the clear recovery by Devin Carrington. One more look as Jordan Richards hits Keenan Allen. The ball is clearly out, very obvious. Tough for a great player like Keenan Allen to turn it over at this spot on the field.
Tough situation for Cal. Defense back on the field. Nunes in the pocket, throws. Oh, easy touchdown. Ertz wide open on the slant. And Stanford wastes little time finding the end zone after the fumble.
Just a brilliant use of formation, splitting the tight end out, creating a mismatch. Josh Hill, the safety, was lined up one-on-one on an island with Zach Ertz. Easy pickings for a Stanford touchdown.
Extra point, up and good by Jordan Williamson. Ertz hauls in his third touchdown of the season.
This is Ertz and Hill at the bottom of the screen, but look at the big set. I mean, all the defenders from Cal sitting in the run box on an island. Josh Hill is no match for the big, strong tight end who gave a nice little move to the outside to gain separation. But that's just a great job by Pep Hamilton. Game planning on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night, finding a formation where he creates a mismatch, and they're able to exploit that for the touchdown. Petros, that was pretty nice job by Pep Hamilton in game plan.
Well, you don't often see tight ends in a one-on-one situation against an athletic guy really just beat him on a route like that. Just beat him outright. You saw it right there. You see it with Toilolo, too. And after not being able to move the ball very well last week at Notre Dame, Stanford's got to feel pretty good on the road here. They're moving the ball pretty much exactly how they want to.
You know, even though Josh Hill is athletic, he's a tremendous safety, but that's the key. He's a safety. He's not used to playing that one-on-one coverage like a corner. So Pep Hamilton finding that matchup, that's a real win for Stanford.
Ertz over 100 yards receiving. Oh, Bigelow took it on the numbers. The hat on the numbers of Bigelow. He's dropped to the 12-yard line. Now it's time for the Aflac trivia question. And Joel, who were the starting quarterbacks when Cal beat Stanford in '82? Of course, the play. We'll have the answer for you a little bit later.
I think I'm very confident in one. I have no idea in the other.
Who are you confident in?
John Elway.
I would agree.
The other, I don't know who Cal's quarterback was.
Stay tuned, we'll let you know. Cal goes to the ground. And Isi Sofele, senior out of Salt Lake City, Utah.
And Petros, you'll know this being around this conference forever. That was the game that kept John Elway out of a bowl game. He never went to a bowl game with Stanford.
Imagine that. Then you look at Andrew Luck, takes him to back-to-back BCS bowl games. It just shows you how good Stanford is now as opposed to how good they used to be.
Under 8 minutes to play in the half. Cal trying to get something going here. They've been their own worst enemy thus far. And oh my! Nearly a pick by Chase Thomas. Had the ball, it comes out, and Cal will get to play on third down.
Petros, this is what momentum feels like. It feels like as an offense that you're trying to play offense uphill. This field is completely tilted towards the Cal offense.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to describe it. Cal needs a drive. I mean, forget a touchdown. They need a first down right now. They're struggling.
They need 6 yards to keep this drive alive. Backfield's empty with Maynard. 5 wide. They go far sideline. It's going to be short. About a half a yard short of the first down. Bryce Treggs, and he was hit hard. Bernard, the strong safety, number 28, put the hat on him. And now here's an early question for Tedford. Nope, he's going to bring the punt unit out.
Can't go for it now. It's just 21-3. But this is the learning curve Jeff Tedford is having to deal with. He's got a lot of true freshmen out there. Got Darius Powell, Bryce Treggs, and Treggs doesn't get to the chains, on a short route. And on third down, that's situational football. Those are the details that you got to take care of in order to move the chains.
Terrell, fair catch, 35-yard line. That's a great seat. That's called Tightwad Hill. I'm wondering, Petros, have you ever decided to just spend the day up on Tightwad Hill?
Not even close.
Stanford on the ground. They hand it to Stephon Taylor, and he spins his way to the 40-yard line. 215-pound back. That's a great spot to watch some football.
Well, I'd rather be in the stadium. This is beautiful, Petros. They redid this stadium, spent over $300 million, and they did a wonderful job with this stadium.
And it's a great testament to Jeff Tedford and what he built with the Cal football program. It took him a long time to get it done. There was a lot of ins and outs, but man, is it something.
Odd exchange from the center. Schwartzstein to Nunes.
I don't know what's going on, but Schwartzstein and Nunes are not on the same page as it relates to the snap count. That's twice today that they've struggled. But Stanford's offense, aside from that, has been fantastic. Nunes, 9 of 17. That consistency that they were looking for on the road has shown up today. 144 yards. Stephon Taylor, very efficient like you would always expect. And then Zach Ertz, 3 for 144 already. He's probably going to be the top tight end taken in the NFL draft, depending on who else comes out. But we're looking at upperclassmen. This guy is one of the best.
Cal needs a stop on 3rd and 5. They bring the corner blitz, and there's contact. I'm looking for a flag, and I see a couple. Steve Williams picked off that pass. He's heading near sideline, and he is taken down hard up around the neck at the 42-yard line. But several flags on the far side of the field.
Pass interference, number 1 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So negate the interception. Williams on a push, and Stanford will continue to march downfield.
Jeff Tedford continuing to have to deal with penalties. You talked about it already today. Just so many penalties this year for Cal. Here's the push. Pretty obvious right at the end. He takes his right arm and just shoves the wide receiver down to the ground. That was Cody Whitfield on the far side. Ends up picking the ball off, but here you see all those penalty yards. Some of the most in the country.
33 so far here in the first half whistled against Cal. They're coming with the blitz on first down. 3-step drop on the hands of Terrell down the sideline. And Joe, we're going to see this again. You play with dynamite, you get burned. And what happened? Cal went for the pick, and Terrell had just the sideline to himself.
Mark Anthony, the cornerback on that side, he read it correctly. He jumped the route. He did everything but get to this ball. Just out of his reach, as you can see when he dives. Terrell then catches it and gets up the rail. Those corners have got to know if they can get there or not. That's why a lot of defensive backs coach will teach you to go through the player and not the football. Go through the player to the ball rather than allowing a guy like Terrell the boundary.
28-yard pickup, back to the ground, little stutter step. Wilkerson dances through the pile, and he'll pick up maybe 6. Dancer gave him a nice block, the right guard up front.
Petros, this is critical that they force them to a field goal attempt on this drive. They have got to bow their necks somehow, even though they played well. They've been on the field forever.
And Cal's been bailing him out. I mean, bailing him out with the pass interference call, bailing him out with the gamble there from Anthony. Tough for the Bears, but Stanford's taking advantage.
Red zone today, Stanford 3 for 3. 3 touchdowns after some road woes early. Power I, under center Nunes. Sliding to the 11-yard line is Wilkerson. Glad you're with us for 20th ranked Stanford and Cal. The 115th big game. Greg Lower, Jack Joel Platt with Petros Papadakis. Memorial Stadium in Berkeley. Here on Fox. Beautiful day. I'll tell you, the haze burned off just around game time.
Couldn't get any better. It's fantastic. Just a perfect day for football.
Depoti had to go off the field after losing his hat, the nose guard. For Cal, now we're looking at 3rd down 4. It's a Wildcat. Dancing. Taylor wanted to throw, caught, trying to spin out of trouble. And draws a host of Cal Golden Bears back at the original line of scrimmage, and they'll lose it back to about the 17-yard line.
Petros too cute for how effective the regular offense has been. I don't know what they're doing. The tight ends are dominating right now.
A little fancy. I think you leave Nunez in. He's your guy. He's your quarterback. He's your leader. He's playing with confidence. Just a little too much razzle-dazzle there from Stanford. They got away with it last time when they brought Hogan in. That time they didn't. Cal forces a field goal like you said they had to.
Williamson missed from 40 yards out earlier. This will be a 34-yard attempt, and the kick is up. Looks long enough, and again, misfires. He missed from 40, and he misses from 34 yards, and Cal gets a break.
And Petros, that's on the coaching staff. I know that Williamson has struggled. Putting that pressure on him is one thing, but the play calling in the red zone so far has been another. A couple of misses now from Williamson in the game. But to do what they tried to do on third down, having Stephon Taylor, he was going to throw a pass. They were trying to run a wildcat formation, fake the run, and actually throw a pass. That's too cute for Pep Hamilton.
Well, you have Hogan as a backup if you want to throw a pass as a changeup guy, and Nunez is your quarterback. He's your thrower. Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and now Cal has a little chance for momentum.
Yeah, they got to take advantage of this.
They've got time, just under 4 minutes to play. The left-hander, Zach Maynard, airs it out. There's contact and a flag at midfield. Terrence Brown
there is a flag on the play.
will be the man the flag is thrown on, number 6, the left corner, and he was trying to put some brakes on Bryce Treggs, a true freshman out of Inglewood.
15-yard penalty. First down.
So now Cal gets that momentum starter as far as the drive is considered with the pass interference. Bryce Treggs now, he gets bumped. Good call, easy call by the officials. But Cal's got to take advantage of this. They've got to find some offensive rhythm on this series.
Maynard checks with the sideline. Stanford showing a corner blitz. On the ground, Lofele. And a pile of white drops him after a 3-yard pickup to the 39-yard line.
What's allowing Stanford to have success today defensively is this. They're able to stop the run with 2 safeties back. And with 2 safeties backs, you can get very creative in your pass defense coverage. What they're doing is putting 2 and 3 guys on Keenan Allen and not allowing Cal the opportunity to just sit there and throw the ball. He's drawing 2 right now towards the bottom of the formation.
Play action on the roll is Maynard. Wide open, flat. Ball is caught and out of bounds goes Eric Stevens. That's his 6th reception of the season, a senior out of San Pedro, California.
Maynard's not a great quarterback from the pocket, but he is accurate when he's on the run, trying to change up the launch point. They get him outside of the pocket now, an accurate throw, and a convertible third down situation. A must that they move the chains here.
You know, David Shaw told us, look, Maynard's athletic, as you mentioned. We have trouble with athletic quarterbacks. Maybe they should move him around a little more. Backside pressure, throws a bad ball, incomplete. I don't know if that was Keenan Allen, the intended receiver. He actually threw it closer to 3 defensive players for Stanford.
He's going to have to shake this off. He got hit what seemed like maybe a little bit late by Ben Gardner, but they're going to go for it on 4th down here. Tedford going to keep Maynard on the field. Bears have got to convert.
4th and 1. Pressure from the edge and the push. They're going to give him the first down as C.J. Anderson pushed the pile just enough. Lancaster came in with the tackle, the inside linebacker. First and 10, clock under 3 minutes. Maynard throws over the top behind the breaking Chris Harper.
I thought it was interesting on that last 4th down play. Look at Stanford looking over. Everybody's lined up and ready to go from Cal, and Stanford never really got set. I mean, we're talking 4th and 1. That's going to be a run. They were never able to get their defensive front set up, maybe relying on the sidelines just a little bit too much.
They stacked it too high, top of your screen with a slot. Third down, second down. Ball is loose and out. Keenan Allen. Now Stanford's point is there was an interception. I thought the ball hit the ground. We'll see as they unpile.
Trying to force the ball to Keenan Allen. I understand why they're trying to get the ball to Keenan Allen, but he is getting double and triple team. I mean, look at all the white jerseys around Keenan Allen. Right at the end, that ball clearly down on the ground, the nose of that football. Good call by the officials.
Third down and 10. Now the officials will whistle the play dead. Only 3 receptions thus far, Joel, for Keenan Allen, who had 11 receptions last week, came in with 52. He's 40% of what Maynard and the Cal passing game is all about.
Timeout, Stanford. Stanford wishes to challenge the ruling on the preceding play of an incomplete pass.
I think what Stanford believes is that ball did roll off his back of his leg, and now that ball is down on the turf.
Petros, from your angle, did you have a good look at it?
Not quite, but I see it right now, and it does look, I mean, that's an incomplete pass, but if you're Stanford, you've had a lot of luck on a lot of these reviews.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. Stanford will be charged their final timeout of the half and has lost their challenge opportunity for the remainder of the game.
It's an interesting place to use that one challenge opportunity. And now that pass rush has an opportunity. On third down, Petros, I think Cal needs to get Zach Maynard out of the pocket. Because inside the pocket, you know, that Stanford front is just getting eaten up by the pass rush.
Get him on the move. I mean, you identified Keenan Allen as an impact player early, Joel, but like you said, there's just too much attention being paid to him. Get the ball to one of these freshmen or your tight end or one of the backs.
Maynard had a career-high 78 yards rushing last week against Washington State. He's in the pocket, stands tall, and cannot escape. Oh, he does! He flips it, but it's going to be short of the first down at the 49-yard line. Chase Thomas in the backfield. Maynard looked to go down. He was able to flip it out, but still, Cal comes up short.
Surprise, surprise. Chase Thomas and Ben Gardner all over Zach Maynard on a third and long situation. Got to have that pass protection in third and long to get the ball down the field. And Cal has just been unable to do that against these very good pass rushers from Stanford.
Leininger will punt away, number 16, at his own 35-yard line. Fair catch. Terrell at the 15-yard line. That's where Stanford will take over with 2 minutes to play in the half. Joel, time now for the Aflac trivia question and answer. Who were the starting quarterbacks when Cal beat Stanford in the 82 game known as simply The Play? Gail Gilbert quarterbacking Cal, and you were right, John Elway. Stanford.
Play will always live in infamy because of the band.
Yes, it will. Delay. Taylor breaks a tackle and pushes to the 25. Stephon Taylor came in averaging 4.5 yards a carry, 657 yards on the season. Ricky Seal and Anthony Wilkerson used on occasion, but basically this ground game is all about Stephon Taylor. They throw to Taylor. Also a good receiver out of the backfield at the 31-yard line. First down, Cardinal.
In college football, rather than the NFL, obviously the clock stops on a first down. That's why I think the most effective usage of a completion in the 2-minute drill is just checking the ball down, moving the chains, get that clock stopped, go down the field.
Nunes in the pocket, throws, double coverage. Nearly intercepted, and right back was the safety, Sebastian.
Number 64, Stanford must leave the game for one play as a result of helmet
Boy, he
loss.
almost had that. I mean, he read it perfectly. Look at him break on the ball, tries to go over the shoulder, just can't get that ball brought into his chest, and Nunes put that one up. in a risky spot trying to find Terrell down the middle of the field.
Incompletion stops the pass with 1:16 to go in the half. 2nd and 10. Nunes 178 yards, 11 of 21 in this game with a touchdown. Again, the delay to Taylor. Turns his pad. Boy, tough to take down in a late flag. They may have taken a face mask with him. We've talked about running backs that help you after contact, and Taylor's one of those backs that always falls forward, picks up an extra 1 or 2.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask. Number 56 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Stanford. Going deep, far side, contact. The catch, now a late flag. Terrell came down with it, but there was contact at the 20, call that the 15-yard line.
Yeah, it looked to me like Terrell reached over the corner. Steve Williams kind of pulled him down before that ball got
Pass
there.
interference, number 4 of the offense. 15-yard penalty, repeat, 1st down.
Well, they'll bring it back, and hot is David Shaw barking from the sideline. We'll see it again.
I thought this was a good call. Watch him, he just pulls Steve Williams to the ground before that ball gets there. I mean, incredible concentration to make the catch, no doubt. But there, you can't pull the defender to the ground like that. That's a very clean call for the officials. Nice job.
So they take the ball from the 15, and it's back at the 38-yard line of Stanford. 1st and 25. Nunes wants to go back in the air. He does, over the top, and nearly intercepted as he threw that ball up and over the top of Jamal Rashad Patterson.
Boy, he just did not follow through there. It didn't look like anybody was in front of him. Just looked like he missed that one. And again, just 50% completion percentage. 178 yards, but felt like he missed one there.
On the season, he's 53%. Nunes. Taylor wrapped up 42-yard line. Knocked down hard by Mark Anthony.
3rd and long. And again, Stanford having trouble getting the play in. This has been a constant theme the entire game. Play clock's at 14 by the time everybody gets into the huddle.
High formation. They'll hand it to Taylor on the left side. And collared down to the 49 by Nick Forbes. 30 seconds on the clock. Timeout. Cal had 2 and they burned 1. So 1 will remain for Cal.
I think you got to find a way to get the ball to Bigelow. You know, Stanford struggles with speed, so Bigelow's got to get the ball in the 2nd half.
McClinsky punches that ball downfield. Looked like it may have touched a Cal Golden Bear at the 20-yard line. Officials say no. They'll mark it at the 16-yard line.
I can't wait to watch Robert Griffin III play against that very good New York Giants team.
Cal runs it into the heart of the Stanford front. Zofele. Cal may just run it to the, they are. They're going to head to the locker room, leave a timeout on the board. They're down by a count of 21-3. By the way, Cal will get the football to start the 2nd half. Well, Cal with plenty of mistakes and plenty to talk about in the locker room. We're at halftime. 21-3, moments away from quarter number 3, 21-3. Stanford on top. Craig Bolerjack, Joel Klatt. We'll hear from Petros here in just a moment. You know what? 2 turnovers really hurt Cal, plus 2 tight ends really hurt Cal in the 1st half.
They really did, and the consistency that wasn't there for Stanford in their previous road game started to show up for Josh Nunes, their quarterback, in this ball game on the road at Cal because of those 2 tight ends, Levine Toilolo and Zach Ertz. They've been tremendous all year long, but they've provided some big plays for Nunes and that offense today. 2 catches for Toilolo for 10 yards. Ertz, the 3 catches, and the real big one, that corner that went down the sidelines and set them up for a big score inside the 10-yard line. Stanford has really owned the first half with those two tight ends.
Bigelow's going to bring it out 3 yards deep. Sideline breaks one tackle and the other. So explosive. They'll knock him out of bounds at the 26-yard line of play. And Petros, Jeff Tedford, I'm sure upset with the 2 giveaways in the first half.
Yeah, he talked about protecting the football. Not so upset with the way his defense has been playing, but offensively, protecting the football and going down the field, which goes against what David Shaw was talking about. He wants more than 21 points, and he was very upset with the way the game was being called by the officials. He said they were 0 for pass interferences, guys.
Well, that last one, the offensive, they were probably upset, but it was the correct call, Petros.
On the pitch, Sovele changes directions once, twice, tries to spin back to the center of the field. And that's not what Jeff Tedford wanted to see on the first play of the first series of this third quarter.
They just cannot get any run game going. Zach Maynard, their leader in the pass game, C.J. Anderson, 4 for 6 yards running the football. But that just goes to show you how poor it's been skating on the ground. 3 catches for Keenan Allen for 20 yards. They need to get him more involved. This offense for Cal just had nothing going on in the first half.
Just 86 yards of total offense for Cal. In the pocket, Maynard. Flush, now runs. Still looking downfield. We'll have to force it upfield and bumped out of bounds. And instead of going upfield, Cal's going the other way. He'll bring up 3rd down and long.
The first half, look at the rushing yards from Cal, 2 yards. This isn't a team that normally rushes for just 2 yards out. I mean, they had 600+ yards, Craig, in the last 2 games. One against UCLA, one against Washington State. We're talking league games. They ran for 318
last week,
and 285. This is crazy. This defense has just been so good in the middle.
987 yards of total offense for Cal over the last 2 games, and they've averaged 37 points a game. Sofele on the draw. Didn't fool anyone. And the crowd, the chorus of boos as Cal is out on their first series of the second half.
But Petros, there's nothing else to do because the pass rush is going to get there. This is a team that's given up 29 sacks this season. And on 3rd and long, you can't have your quarterback sit back there like a statue.
Not 5 steps, not 7 steps. Stanford will pin their ears back and get them. I don't mind the call, but still, Cal's got to get downfield, and here comes Stanford.
Cole Leininger will punt at his own 10-yard line. Rushing on. Stanford just flew by. High hanger, and it goes out of bounds. And they're going to mark it, my goodness, way upfield, just inside the 45-yard line.
Kevin Hogan, the redshirt freshman, in at quarterback, not Josh Nunez. Remember, out of this set and this personnel group, they love to run the zone read option.
Hogan, redshirt freshman. They ride the belly, he pulls it out and is tossed for a loss back at the 46-yard line. Chris McCain.
McCain is on the right side for the defense, standing up, just comes in unblocked. They're trying to option off of him, so that ball actually needs to be pitched right away. That's incredibly difficult because the speed at which McCain comes in. He's trying to, speaking of Hogan, read that ball inside of the tailback, then pitch it off the defensive end. That was just too much logistics too quickly for a redshirt freshman.
McCain wiry, 6'6", 2 1/4, sophomore out of Greensboro, North Carolina. Nice play. A loss of 5, 2 on the play clock. They get the snap away, hand it off to Stephon Taylor, and he'll get a couple of yards back to the 48-yard line. That brings up 3rd down and long.
Petros, I know that they wanted to get the ball downfield. They got some great tight ends, but with how well their defense is playing against Cal, don't you expect fully a conservative game plan from Stanford in the second half?
Yeah, I think that they're going to get a heavy dose of Stephon Taylor, and as they get more help in their running back group with Anthony Wilkerson, if they keep control of this game, I think we'll see a lot of him in the second half as well.
Zach Ertz is checked in, rushes on, in the pocket, the throw, the catch. Guess who? Zach Ertz, but short of the first down. They'll mark him at the 39.
He's frustrated because he didn't get to the chains. Always talk about situational football, and if it's 3rd and 18, you run a 19-yard route. If it's 3rd and 17, you run an 18-yard route. Ertz wasn't able to get the chains, and now on 4th down, David Shaw is going to put the ball in the hands of his offense. He wants him to convert at the 41-yard line.
They put that muscle front up with Ertz, Murphy, and Hewitt. Toss it, caught, close. As Hewitt made the reception, now they wave it.
He's
at
going
the
to be
40,
short.
yeah, short by about a football and a half. He needed to hit the 41. He barely got the nose past the 40-yard line.
Back-to-back plays. Poor execution from Stanford. Ertz and then Hewitt not getting to the chains. And Clancy Pendergast from Cal has got to be excited with his defense, giving his offense another opportunity. They got to get something going here. Cal down 21-3.
Welcome back to Big Game. 115th edition, and now Cal. You talk about no place to escape. Maynard just stood there, and Shane Scove came untouched. The inside linebacker.
The emotional and vocal leader of this defense, right up the middle of the field. He's just going to come right in the A gap. Times it and a complete breakdown in protection. You see Chris Adcock and Brian Schwenke, they're unable to come off their double team and get to Scove for an easy sack.
I think the most surprised man on the field was Maynard. Looked up and there he was. They set up a screen. They cut it back as Treggs is hit and dropped maybe a yard to the 31-yard line. By the way, that was the second sack today for Stanford. They recorded, Joel, 2 or more in all 7 games this season.
Why? That's why all those front 7 guys, when they're on Twitter and they're using Twitter, they use hashtag party in the backfield.
Yeah.
And that's what it's been today for the Stanford defense.
3rd down at 18. Pressure again. Maynard runs for his life. Slings it. And the ball is out, incomplete. That was intended for Jacob Wark, number 84, and the pressure has been coming since we came back to play the second half. This time it was A.J. Tarpley. First it was Scove, one inside backer, and Tarpley the other.
At some point, Petro, someone has to step up on the offensive line and be a leader up there, because it's getting ridiculous for Zach Maynard and the Cal offense. They can't protect him at all. There is literally 0 time to throw the ball.
Running for his life.
Leininger with the pooch punt, takes a couple of bounces and a nice roll for Cal inside the 20, and he'll roll dead at the 20-yard line. Cal needs once again for their defense to step up. They did so many times in the first half to at least keep this game close. On the rollout is Nunes. In traffic, pocket collapses, and he'll take a fall back at the 18-yard line. He'll lose 2. Good downfield coverage by Cal's secondary. DeAndre Coleman made the initial hit on Nunes.
Yeah, everybody back there had their guys completely locked up. Steve Williams, Mark Anthony, Josh Hill, Avery Sebastian. Those guys, there was only a 3-man route concept for Stanford, really trying to push the ball down the field, take that shot. But great coverage and awareness from Cal, the situation of the game, forced Nunes to hold the ball longer than he wanted to.
Nunes goes under center on 2nd down 11. Shows the ball and hands it to Taylor. Spins out of a tackle with the power and the speed of Stephon Taylor. Will take Stanford to the 35-yard line. Avery Sebastian brought him down, but also tough after contact.
He'll just continue to run through arm tackles, and Stephon Taylor is one of those guys that just quietly and methodically gains yards, inching his way towards the upper echelon of the Stanford record books as far as rushing yards in his career.
This time it's Wilkerson. And he punches up the middle for 2. By the way, getting back to Taylor, Joel, 14 carries now, 101 yards. It's the 18th career 100-yard game.
He's got 101 yards in this game. He just needed over 90 to pass Toby Gerhart for 2nd place in the Stanford all-time rushing list. He's now got 3,528 career rushing yards. What a career. And pretty quietly.
Yes.
You know, it's always kind of methodical, isn't it?
Mansfield, Texas is home. 2nd down after a pickup of 2. Long snap count, Nunes. Cal bringing it strong up the middle. They've got man coverage far side. And you let the man go free, and it's Zach Ertz. You're in trouble.
There he is again, the tight end, Zach Ertz. Working against the safety, Josh Hill, number 23. I'm just so impressed for a guy this size, 6'6", that he runs the routes as clean as he does. Look how he gets out of his break. He doesn't get out of his break until he gets to the spot. To the spot means the depth of the route. He understands that when he's to the wide side of the field, he can use that speed break rather than coming to a stop and then breaking straight out. So he drifts a little bit further down the field. Nunez understands that. That was a pretty concept from Stanford.
1st and 10. Stanford play action. Cal breaks through and just a one-hopper incomplete. Smart move. Nunez lets it go and it falls incomplete. That brings up 2nd down. Clock stops at the 7:04 mark.
Petros, for as bad as Cal's offense has been, you know, their defense has been resilient today. They've played with great effort in the face of great adversity because they've been out there forever.
They've done a great job, and you have to credit their defensive coordinator, Clancy Pendergast. He's had these guys in a pretty good position, but Stanford's helped them out too because David Shaw's pretty bent on throwing the ball downfield in this game.
They go with 2 tight ends, Toilolo and Ertz. Stay on the ground. Boy, just dancing. Look at the quick feet of Taylor. Now he's just inching along slowly, and no one can put the wraps on him.
To your point, Petros, he should have been tackled for about a 1-yard loss. He ends up gaining 2. You know, when you get those every play, you got that +3 in your pocket like Taylor does. That's a huge advantage for the offense.
He's got very good feet, and he's on pace, like you said, Joel. He's a record breaker. He's on pace for a 1,300-yard season, and they do it in a very workmanlike fashion. And I feel like they should be running a little more here in the second half, but Shaw wants points.
6.5 to go. Inside Cal territory at the 46-yard line. 3rd down and long. Nunez throws. Ertz again. The reception, but he's stacked up and driven back short of the 1st down at the 41-yard line. Good hit by Cameron Jackson. Made his first career start last week when Anthony was out with that knee against UCLA.
Yeah, really solid tackle. Watch him come up, base up, and get into the body of Ertz. Get some help from number 22, Nathan Broussard. But that's a nice job at the nickel corner. Cameron Jackson really coming in and bringing down one of the best tight ends in the country.
Zaklinski will punt. Sends it high. And a fair catch right at the 10-yard line. Well, game summary brought to you by Dodge Ram. Stanford 21, Cal 3. I'll tell you, the Cal rushing yards is staggering. -10 after averaging a 221, Joel, the last 3 ball games. And now we've got movement up front.
Offside. Number 90 of the defense by contact. 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
Okay, Petros, offensively, the number I just read off, -10 on the ground. What do you do offensively if you're Cal?
I don't know. I mean, Jeff Tedford's the guru. I mean, do something. Run a flea flicker. Trick play. Move the quarterback.
It's an interesting proposition. Petros, I don't think it's play calling or selection. I think somebody on the offensive line has to step up. You know, it doesn't matter what play you call when the 5 guys up front, you know, don't have respect for what's going on in this ball game. They've got to play better up front. It's just been absolutely awful this entire course of the first 3 quarters.
So Fele runs into a pile in the pocket. One pump brings it down. Maynard escapes. Nice cut, 25, and slides for a 1st down to the 29-yard line. Zach Maynard, I mentioned it earlier in the first half, but Joel, let's get back to his career rushing game last week. 78 yards, he has escapability, and that time the chains move.
And that's what they need in order to really hurt Stanford, because Stanford doesn't deal well with athleticism, with speed. And when a quarterback can hurt them with his feet, that's a huge advantage for the opposition.
They put in Bigelow. Well, that right side of Cal's O-line today has been unable to find much room against Stanford with Adcock and Summers Gavin.
and they are not winning first down. I mean, they have just gotten beat handily up front on first down, forcing themselves into second and long, third and long situations. And that's just not how Zach Maynard's going to have success.
No game, in fact, a loss of 1. Second down 11. Quick throw, middle of the field. Richard Rodgers. Well, you get a completion, but you pick up 3.
Petros, here they are again. You know, third down, a long situation. They've got 6 to convert here. I still think they got to get Maynard outside of the pocket and try to negate some of this pass rush.
There's got to be some way to take advantage of the over-aggressiveness of the Cardinal defense because they're coming hard. Screen them.
Again, tuck and run. Nice move of Maynard is dropped down. A couple of Cardinal right on top of him to the 38, A.J. Tarpley. Now, Bigelow is the breakaway back, guys. I mean, he had a couple of touchdowns, and I'm talking long runs against Ohio State of 81 and 59 yards. Again, though, he's used sparingly, but has that ability to make a big play.
There's just no time to get him the ball. You know, when they're handing it to him, there's nowhere to go. You know, the offensive line got to start playing better.
Laniger, beautiful punt. Came off his foot. Drives back Terrell inside his own 10-yard line. He's got some room, but it shuts down quickly as Cal's special teams knock him down at the 20-yard line. Beats of this great college campus. Anthony Wilkerson on the pitch on the far side. Good pursuit by Cal. They'll knock him down after pick up a 2.
Cal's corners have played well today.
Yeah, Mark Anthony, Steve Williams.
Cameron Jackson's also been in there, sophomore from Long Beach. These guys have played really well. Probably the strength of the defense for Cal. At points they've been bracketing those tight ends, but they've tackled well, they've covered well down the field. They've got something there with those guys on the outside.
Ramon Wright, number 22, redshirt freshman from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Alongside Nunes. Play clock, can't get it off. Again with Ryan
Before
Hogan.
the delay of game, charge timeouts. Stanford. This will be a 30-second timeout.
Little luck with Ryan Hogan under center. We'll take a break. Back after this on Fox. Well, the Hogan experiment, Joel, I think it's safe to say has not really boded well for Stanford today. Nunes comes in. Under center goes Nunes, second down. Handed off.
Stanford's strength is running the football, and their strength is up front with the offensive line. This is, and we've talked about it, Joel, a very highly sophisticated and detailed run game, probably the most sophisticated in college football today.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Led by Stephon Taylor, and he's a guy who he's just thorough in his running ability. And I think that's the best word to describe him because he does everything well. He blocks when asked, but he can run inside in the gap scheme. He can run zone, which is a very different type of look and read. He can also make people miss in the backfield, which you saw on his first touchdown run. There wasn't a lot of great blocking going on in front of him. He had the defender right in front of him, makes him miss, gets into the end zone. 16 rushes now for 114 yards, 7.1 per carry, and he's really the bell cow there for the Stanford run game.
We saw McCain helped off the field to find outside linebacker for Cal. Holding that left ankle above the ground. Handoff Taylor and a flag far side as he knocked down at the 39. I think the point taken, though, is you looked at the replay on Stephon Taylor.
Illegal shift by the offense. Two players moving at the same time. 5-yard penalty. First down will be repeated.
The inability to hand tackle this guy. I mean, that's what the most impressive part about his game is.
You got to have two guys there, or when you're singled up and trying to tackle Stephon Taylor, you better bring your lunch because, I mean, it's going to be difficult. That's why moving your feet as a defender. A lot of the defensive coaches, when they teach the art of tackling, they talk about the feet being the most important part. And that's because Craig, if your feet stop, that means you're extended away from your base and you start to reach, and Stephon Taylor will run through that tackle every time.
85, Ryan Hewitt in the backfield with Stephon Taylor. Again, they punch it past the 30, 32-yard line, short of the first down by about 11.
Go back earlier in this game. This is a good example. See how the feet are stopping and they're dragging behind, and there's a lot of diving going on. That's not going to bring Stephon Taylor down. What you've got to do is allow your feet to get your eyes and your body into position to tackle a guy like Taylor. 144 yards rushing today. If there's a disparity like that in the game, missed it. I was a little late. But 144-7. I mean, that's why they're up 21-3.
Third down long. Taylor again crashes past the 35. Rolling up on the final seconds of quarter number 3.
Petros dominating quarter here from Stanford.
Final seconds tick off. And the Cardinal will take a 21-3 lead into the fourth quarter. 15 minutes left in big game here in Cal. Fourth quarter here at Cal. Craig Bullerjack, Joel Klatt. Looks like Stanford 15 minutes away from maybe breaking that 0-for-2 slump on the road.
Well, they've been much better today than they have in their previous 2 road games of the year at Washington and then at Notre Dame. And it's really interesting to me. We talked with the coaches all week long. They talked about the fact that their kids, as they go for a fake here on the 4th down punt, do end up getting that. It looks like he's going to get out there, a 3rd down.
Little trickery by the Cardinal. And the sticks move.
Well, I was going to say is that their coaches told us that the kids have been very resilient. You know, even after they lost to Washington, even after last week at Notre Dame, that the kids moved on right away, and they understood that this game was bigger than Notre Dame. Notre Dame's non-league. Cal is big game, and it's in the league, in the division, that they had to get ready for this one.
This time, no escape for Taylor as he's taken down by Camporelli, one of the backup backers. And slow to get up is David Yankee. Get some help off the field. 6'5", 301 pounds, the junior out of Roswell, Georgia. Now substitutions with Jamal Rashad Patterson and Drew Terrell. Second and 11 into the fourth quarter. No score in that third. From the eye goes Taylor. Hewitt leading the way.
Nowadays, everything's on the iPad. Playbooks, film, players all each have an iPad, distributed by the program. And Stanford was telling us that their kids were already watching film on Cal in the bus in South Bend, driving away from Notre Dame Stadium.
Nunes in the pocket, fires a dart, nearly intercepted. Up with a hand was Josh Hill, who's had a tough go today with the tight end, Zach Ertz. Nearly picked one off, and now Cal will get the football.
Petros, this defense has done a heck of a job, man. They've been out there forever, and they continue to play hard. They continue to give chances to get off the field. They've been able to do so.
It's nothing new. They were the best defense in the conference in 2010 and 2011.
No return for Cal. Cal will start this drive at their own 5-yard line. Maynard in his end zone throws it on the Cal sideline. Incomplete. 13-11 to go. Well, the offense today, Joel, 1 field goal on 12 possessions, 3 drives longer than 3 plays, and yet to convert on 3rd down.
And the problem on third down has been first down. And again, on this series, they open up with an incompletion, and they're behind schedule. You want to gain 4 yards on every play. If you're at 2nd and 6, you're considered on schedule. Cal has been there almost never during the course of this game.
Quick drop, quick throw over the top. Oh, great catch at the 35-yard line. Chris Harper, a true freshman from Encino, California, stretched it out and gives Cal life at the 35-yard line.
This is a tremendous catch. What athleticism, and he knew he was going to take a hit as well. And to have the fortitude to continue to hold on to that ball and get yourself down, what a great catch by Chris Harper.
Stanford crashes through the line, led by Henry Anderson, and they put the hit on C.J. Anderson. So they're trying to go with a little power with Anderson, the running back, number 9, but he's tossed for a loss.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
That's the
Stanford
story.
on first down has averaged over 6 yards per play. Cal not even 1 yard per play. They've got to find some semblance of rhythm on first down.
Cal loads it up with 3 wide receivers near side. They throw it to the flat. Bigelow to the 42. Now Bigelow, as I mentioned, breakaway ability. Had the long touchdowns against the Buckeyes of 81 and 59 yards. They love his speed, but out he comes. Let's see if Cal can get their first third down. Move the chains for the first time. They're 0 for 10 on third down conversions. Quick throw, near side. The catch complete, looks to be short. Bryce Treggs, the freshman, needed to go past the 45, Joel. They've marked him inside the 45.
Gotta think about going for it. The offense is gonna stay on the field.
Have to.
Half a yard to go.
No. Oh. What a game for Ben Gardner. Gardner comes in, 7 tackles for losses when the day started, and he was in the backfield before the exchange. It is time now for today's Reese's Perfect Play, and you can almost put the perfect tag on Stanford's defense.
Well, let's just go back to that fourth down stop, because it seems like the party in the backfield has taken place all day long for the front 7 for the Stanford Cardinals.
Stephon Taylor with ease running through Cal's front 7. He'll pick up 10 yards and reset it.
They haven't been out there for long because they keep getting themselves off the field. Cal has not converted a third down opportunity, and that defense, 9 tackles for loss today. They had 50 coming into this game, which was ranked 4th in the country. I think Cal got a timeout here before they got a 12th
First charge
man.
timeout, California.
Trying to run a defender off the field, so they call timeout. Ground game's been very effective for the Cardinal on the other side of the ball, and Stephon Taylor stutter steps to the 25-yard line. You put the combination together, Joel. Really, I'm surprised the score is just 21-3.
Yeah, it feels worse than that. You know, in terms of favored Stanford, Petros, it feels like it's 42-3. There's no air in the stadium. There's no confidence that Cal's going to be able to come back because of the way that Stanford defense is played.
When you just can't generate anything offensively, and you have one of the best receivers in the country, it's really frustrating.
Second down 4. Staying on the ground. Popping through untouched. Taylor having a big day, led by Kevin Dancer up front.
It's something now.
Up the middle again goes Taylor. Maybe a yard to the 16-yard line. Second down, play action. Nunes throws a little bit low. Ryan Hewitt, number 85, had to go around the knee. Should have caught the ball, came down, and it's incomplete.
You're right, though. It was a bit behind him, a bit low and a bit behind him, and that's really tough for a fullback slash H-back. Ryan Hewitt's really good. He's an athletic guy. He can do a lot of things, 6'4", 250 pounds. But when you're running away from your quarterback and you're asked to completely wrench around and try to catch a ball in your back hip. That's incredibly difficult to do.
Zach Ertz to Lolo. Both those tight ends on the field. Nunes wants to throw. They want points. Ball picked off. Well, you want points. Sometimes you try a little bit too hard and you wake up the sleeping giant. Mark Anthony with the pick. Nunes unhappy with that throw, and now Cal down, but there's still life with 9:18 to go.
Anthony's second pick on the year and Cal's 11th interception of the season. Coming in, they had 10. That was 8th in the country. 4th INT in the red zone this season, and Cal does it again. I tell you, they've been dominated in this football game, but their defense has come up with big plays. Turnover on the first series. They've forced some field goals that Williamson has then missed. So Cal's defense has to give a huge pat on the back right now.
But can Maynard do anything with it? He's in trouble. Throws from his own end zone. Finds a man and a first down. The catch out of the backfield, C.J. Anderson. And Anderson slow to get up.
Remember, he was banged up early in the game inside the 5-yard line. Never quite been the same since. It had his left leg wrapped up and been hobbling ever since. When you talk about Cal's offense, now, Petros, this is the time that you stand up and you just throw the ball to Keenan Allen, allow him to make a play on the outside, or Bigelow. Because Maynard right now is sitting in the pocket. He's running for his life. Still, these guys are getting after him.
Move him or call a double move. They can't do a 7-step drop and get sacked.
Maynard sets his feet, throws high, nearly intercepted. Jordan Richards back on coverage.
I think you just got to throw it to Keenan Allen. At this point, I don't care if he's covered. I don't care if the coverage is rolled to him. Because if you're going to go down in big game, you got to go down, emptying the chamber, if you will, and that means throwing the ball to Keenan Allen.
He's had 3 receptions today. Had a season high last week. 11 receptions, 166 yards. Bryce Treggs, the freshman, with the catch at the 29. Well, we were told again by Stanford, Derek Mason, the D coordinator, head coach David Shaw, they would spot and locate Keenan Allen every play, and that time Joel looked to be open.
Hey, he's been open on some plays now, and Maynard hasn't been able to get the ball to him.
They roll it out far side. Harper with the catch to the 40.
And Petros, when we talked with Jeff Tedford, he's a firm believer that the system will take care of the touches for his players. So he's just going to continue to put, Keenan Allen in the progression, and then the defense will suggest when he gets the ball. But at some point, when it's 21-3, you just got to throw him the ball. It doesn't matter.
Well, believe it or not, this is the best rhythm that Cal's offense and Zach Maynard have been in all day, but it might be too late.
Maynard throws over the top. What a catch. Harper down low. Right off the top of his knees, and Cal's in business at the 37-yard line.
And this is the effect that Allen is having on the game, because even though he only has the 3 catches, Stanford is widening out their coverage with him on the outside and creating big seams in the middle of the field, and now they're starting to take advantage of that with true freshman Chris Harper.
Cal trying to go a little hurry up here as the clock is working against him. Just over 8 minutes to play. Pressure from the edge. And down goes Maynard. The pressure. Debniak, first time we've yelled out number 42 today. Now, was this a catch or not?
Well, Stanford was reacting as if it was not a catch. Did not hit the ground.
From that angle,
entire time, it doesn't look like it hit the ground.
it was rolling all over the body. Maynard stands in the pocket, throw it to the flat on the button. Anderson out of bounds, stops the clock. He was hit by Alex Carter.
They're finally getting the ball out of Maynard's hand quickly. Those swing passes on the outside, slant route, rhythm throws down the middle of the field.
And we know they have the ability to play this hurry up. They have it, and they're doing it now, but they had it in the first quarter. What happened?
3rd down and 6 for Cal. They go back to work at the Stanford 34-yard line. Again, pressure from the edge. Ball knocked down to the line of scrimmage. Henry Anderson, 6'6", 278, got a hand up and swatted it away.
What length he's got. I mean, 6'6", getting them hands up. That's tough. Maynard only stands at 6'2", so he's not a very tall quarterback, and Anderson able to bat the ball down out of the air.
Now it's 4th down. They need 6 yards to move the chains. Maynard checks with the sideline. 7:25 on the clock here in the 4th. And Cal
Second charge timeout.
Call a timeout
California.
their second. That leaves Cal with 1 timeout remaining here in the ball game. Cal 1 of 2 on 4th down conversions in this ball game. They got 7:25 to play, trying to find the end zone. Maynard. What a catch! And Keenan Allen answers the call, climbs the ladder. 1st down, Cal at the 11-yard line.
On the biggest play of the game, they go to their best player, Keenan Allen, and he comes up with a huge catch down the middle of the field for the biggest conversion of Cal's day.
23 yards, 200th career reception for Keenan Allen. He is a record breaker. 16 career touchdowns along the way, and what a grab to keep Cal alive in this ball game. Just under 7 minutes remaining. Hand off Anderson. He'll pick up 3, maybe 4 down to the 6-yard line. Number 200.
Remember, all these catches have come in just like 2.5 years. I mean, just so productive in the athleticism to go up high in the air over the middle. What are they doing? They don't have time to run the ball. Petros, they don't have time for this.
No, and you got Keenan Allen out there on the edge, and as good as Stanford has played in the secondary today, Joel, it's still a mismatch. I mean, he is better than the Stanford corners and safeties. I would try to throw a fade to him, but Cal's just got to find a way to get in the end zone right now.
They've wasted 50 seconds.
Now the clock's coming up on 6 minutes. Stanford showing blitz at the line, and now they'll check the sideline as the clock hits the 6-minute mark. Third down. Maynard caught from behind. Trent Murphy. Joel came in with 3.5 sacks, 8 tackles for losses. He had 10 stops a week ago against the Irish in Notre Dame.
One of those terrific front 7 players. He's been active all day long. Gets a huge sack, now forcing a 4th down. This is the ball game for Cal.
Cal got here through the air. They went to the ground, and now they need another big play. To the end zone. Picked off. Wayne Lyons stepped in front of Keenan Allen. That ball was underthrown. And Stanford will have the football on the interception.
The first real threat for Jeff Tedford ends in the hands of Stanford. Maynard was hammered by Ben Gardner in the backfield, but this is the interception on the outside. Wayne Lyons, a sophomore from Fort Lauderdale. Maynard had to throw this way before he wanted to because of that pressure. Allowed Lyons to jump the route, but this is the price that was paid in the backfield.
Sandwiched.
Oh.
Boy, he took a shot in the backs, front of the ribs, and slow up off the turf. He's on the bench. And now Stanford with the football. They give it to Taylor. They give the Cardinals some breathing room. The flag is out at the 15-yard line.
By 23, Joe Jones, number 11, and Forbes.
Personal foul, grasping the face mask. Number 23 of the defense. 15 yards from the end of the play, 1st down.
Josh Hill.
Cal's going to have to start taking chances. Yeah, everybody's going to be up near the line of scrimmage. Don't be surprised to see a big run here, because once everybody is up near the line of scrimmage, Craig, that doesn't bode well because you have no levels in your defense. As soon as there's any seam created, that's when those big runs occur from a team like Stanford, even on a basic power or gap play like they've been running all year long.
Taylor and Hewitt in the backfield. Most of this afternoon. Nunes settles under center. They hand it off to 33. Maybe a half a yard.
Buffs last in the conference when it comes to points per game scored at only 20. They're going to have to put up several more than that to run with the Trojans.
Wilkerson is wrestled out of bounds at the 41-yard line.
Watch out for Stanford because sitting there at 2-1, they still have their matchups with Oregon State left on the schedule, with Oregon left on the schedule. So their destiny is still controlled in their own hands.
Still running hard is Taylor. Stops and spins forward to the 47. Hit by Lowe. Number 5, a sophomore.
And this is the ultimate ace in your pocket. If you're David Shaw, Petros, the ability to turn around, run power, and completely run out the clock. They get the ball at the 5-yard line. Now they're sitting there at the 47-yard line. They've just hammered away at the clock and the field position of Cal.
They've always been a tough team running the ball, but this is the first Stanford team ever, and I'm talking about 100-plus years, that's been led by their defense. And it was an appropriate end to that drive for Cal there with the Stanford team.
Big hole, Taylor rumbles. He is just shedding tacklers one after another to the 35-yard line. Stanford with the ball, first down at the 34-yard line. Ramon Wright. He'll get the handoff. Tripped up, 34-yard line. Robert Mullins with the tackle. Let's look at today's Hankook Tire performance of the game. Stephon Taylor, career high in rushing yards, Joel, 189 yards. 18th time he's gone over 100 in his career, and he's going on 3,700. He passed Toby Gerhart today, second all time, and he's coming up on a guy named Darren Nelson.
And in the day in which you could see David Shaw, Pep Hamilton, the offensive coordinator, they wanted to try to force the ball down the field with Josh Nunes. It was old reliable Stephon Taylor that was really the key to their offensive success.
Well, the Axe, Cal was hoping to bring it back, but it looks like it's going to stay in the hands of one of the Stanford Cardinal. Last year a close game, by the way, and Andrew Luck's swan song, 31-28.
Petros, I love this. They're respecting the clubs at their school. They just stand there for the last 2 minutes of the game and they just stare at each other.
Yeah, it's a little awkward. I'm staying a few yards away from it, especially since there's an axe involved.
Right.
I hope calm remains. They ride the belly of Wright to the 26-yard line.
These are academic institutions now, Bowler.
That's right.
I understand that, but still, there's some emotion there. But you know what? It's kind of a scary scene. It's very serene, very quiet.
Yeah, check out the guy with the aviator glasses.
I know, he's serious, isn't he? He is all business.
It's a stare down.
That's phenomenal. There he is.
No smiles, no emotion.
None.
Big game. Big game attitude.
Might be because he's a Cal guy. You know, the Cal folks know they're 25 ticks of the clock away from not carrying that axe out.
Hogan breaks away past the 15. And the clock's going to start back up after they set the chains. It was 21-3, Joel, at the half. And it's going to end that way. A scoreless second half in the 115th edition of Big Game. And the Axe will stay with the Stanford Cardinal. And here it comes. David Shaw, the handshake with Jeff Tedford. And the final. 20th ranked Stanford 21 and Cal 3. Our final score, Stanford 21 and the Golden Bears of Cal 3 for Joel Klatt and Petros Papadakis, our entire Fox crew. Frank Womerjack. Let's take you now to Aaron Andrews at the Fox studio for the AT&T Fox College Saturday Game Break Show.